Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another moment of gratefulness with me. Oh man, I'm glad that you're here. So today's moment of gratefulness is let it go.
Let it go, let it go.
All right. So every time I think of let it go, obviously I think of that. But man, what I'm really talking about is, and this is something that, to be honest with you, I struggle with a lot. I'm not a vengeful person. I don't hold grudges by any means. Like, that's the weird thing. If it's like an argument or something like that, like, I'm easy to just let things go and be done. Something happened over the weekend that really caught me off guard, and honestly was a tough thing for me to work through. So we're at my daughter's soccer game, and we're pretty competitive. I'm a competitive person, so I tend to wander down the line a little bit further than what I even recognize, but still always stay on our side. I'm not even yelling at this point. I'm kind of just talking to myself, really is it about the game. And kind of sounds a little weird now that I say it out loud, but you know what I mean. And this guy looks back at me and says, "Hey buddy, how about you not stand and be in my ear?" And I honestly thought it was one of our parents and thought he was joking around. So I laughed because I realized like I had wandered away from my wife, and said, "Oh shoot, I'm sorry, my bad. I didn't mean to be that close to you." And then then the whole situation starts to hit me. Like, one, he's not one of our parents. He's on the opposing team, and we are way far away from midfield. And two, like, just talking, like, that's one thing that really gets to me is if people talk to me in a rude way. Like, I make sure that I don't, like, that's not how I talk to people or treat people. It's not how I believe anybody should be talked to or treated, especially right from the jump. You know what I mean? And so then it kind of hits me, and like, I'm kind of chuckling a little bit because I'm in disbelief, to be honest with you. He looks back and says, "If you want to make a scene, partner, we can." And so I just responded to him and said, "Look, I'm trying to watch my little girl's soccer game." And he says, "Yeah, so am I." And it's, okay, well, I suggest that we just do that. And so it brings up, like, that whole thing brought up a lot of different things for me, because I'm thinking, like, what do you mean by that, make a scene? I'm thinking, like, hey, you're a dude. He was a bigger, burly dude. Like, I highly doubt what you mean is let's get loud and argue. And that's how we're going to make a scene. I highly doubt that's what he was meaning. And me, I've never been in a fight in my life. So I wouldn't know what to do in terms of fighting, all right? I mean, I can lift weights and do all that stuff, but I do not know the first thing about fighting. I don't believe I'm anyone special, don't get me wrong, but I think you can agree, like, just don't like it when people talk down to us, and especially when we don't feel we deserve it. So that was a tough thing, like, all of Sunday. Like, it's in my head. And hey, watch this clip, because this is exactly what I was thinking.
How many times, guys especially do this. How many times, guys, you've been driving down the highway and your wife says, "What's wrong?" And you realized you were thinking about that guy and what he said and what you would have said. And if you're a guy, you think about punching him. Ladies, do you know that we still we're 40 and 50 years old and we still think about punching somebody out by the monkey bars? It is amazing. And here's the crazy thing. What I have found is that 99.9% of the time, these people that we're so irritated, these people who have offended us so deeply, are sleeping and living their lives without any clue that we're bent out of shape.
So it makes sense, right? Like, we spend so much time, like, I gave this guy so much time of my Sunday, and he's probably going on his day just, not even thinking twice about what had happened. And here I am, like, hours later, trying to still have that conversation in my head about what I should have said or what I could have said and how that would have went, and I could have got him good with this, spending so much time on this stupid stuff. And just being transparent with you, that's what I struggle with. And how many of you struggle with something like that? Just struggling to be able to let things go like that. I mean, this clip is a prime example of how much time and energy that we give to these other people. I heard a quote the other day. I want to say it was a Martin Luther King Jr. Quote, sorry, and it said something to the effect of how he doesn't hate people, he doesn't want to give them that much control or power over him. And that's really what it is, right? I mean, when we have that sort of hate, or I don't like that word, but hate or malice or whatever in our heart towards some other individual, how much time do we give them? How much time do we allow them to live inside of us in our heads and take up valuable time that could be spent elsewhere, elsewhere being productive and doing some good things with it? I mean, it's a struggle for me, and I know that I'm not the only one. And another example of this situation is like holding grudges. I know that can take a ton of time out of people's days and also experiences, like there's that person that, hey, you haven't forgiven for whatever the case is. And anytime you're around them, it's awkward, right? Like it messes up any time that you're around them. And you got to be reliving that situation over and over. And probably each time you relive it, it gets worse and worse, right? But how much better would it be if we could just let it go? One, we can forgive. We can forgive. That should be part of this whole thing. Like we have to be able to just forgive that person, because forgiveness isn't about them at all. That's more about us. Like we let go of whatever it is that we were holding on to by simply forgiving. And that way we don't have to deal with it anymore. So forgiveness is a huge part. That person doesn't have to ask for it. They don't have to deserve it, or whatever the case is. Like all we have to do is just forgive, and we're released of that bondage between us and them. We can go about our day not thinking about whatever happened and just letting things go. Grateful that we at least have the ability to let things go. Like I said, has nothing to do with that other person, everything to do with our decision. So that's what I'm grateful for this morning. What are you grateful for? Hey, I really appreciate you watching. Thank you very much. You're already here, so why don't you subscribe to the channel? That way we can get these videos out to you whenever we release them. Like videos, share videos. You see anything that you like, man, just put it out there. Help spread some positivity. But also give us some comments. Let us know what we can do better in what we're doing, how we can make it better for you, because that's why we're doing it. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much, and you have a grateful day.